right? So okay, so we actually learned a bit on this the types of sufferings, which consists of, I think, birth, getting old, getting sickness, death, as well as feeling. I mean the sensation of feeling depressed when departed from loved ones, be someone that you don't like, yeah, and then the feelings of craving for something that you cannot get, yeah, and of course some association with this the five aggregates lah, or they call it five skandhas. Yeah. Today we going to talk about second noble truth. Yeah. Which we talk about the roots of sufferings. Yeah. And we're lucky to us. I mean today to have with us Sister Suchin, which is going to enlighten us on the second noble truth. All right, I will pass the stage to Sister Suchin.
Thank you, Brother Aidan, for the kind introduction. Everyone, good evening to all of you. Yeah, today we're going to the second noble truth, which is the cause of suffering. So to start off today's session, let us do a short puja by paying respect to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and observe the 5 precepts. So I will share the screen. Can you see the full screen? Or can you see the next slide as well?
The next slide can be seen as well.
Can be seen.
It's a presenter view.
Presenter view, okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Can you see?
Yes.
Now? Okay.
Yep.
So I'd like to invite Brother Teh Boom Seng to lead today's opening puja with the, let us put our palms together. So Brother Teh, you can read the Pali and the English version.
Yeah, sure.
So that everybody can understand what we are chanting in Pali.
Yes, okay. So brothers and sisters, please put our palms together. Let us recite. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the blessed one, the worthy one, the perfectly enlightened one. Homage to him. Next will be 3 refuges. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sangham saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Sangham saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Sangham saranang gacchami. I go to the Buddha for refuge. I go to the Dhamma for refuge. I go to the Sangha for refuge. For the second time, I go to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha for refuge. For the third time, I go to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha for refuge. Anatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinatana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu michachara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sura miraya majja pamadatana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Imani Pancha Sikkhapadani Samadhiyani. Imani Pancha Sikkhapadani Samadhiyami. Imani Pancha Sikkhapadani Samadhiyami. I observe the precept to abstain from killing living beings. I observe the precept to abstain from taking things not given. I observe the precept to abstain from sexual misconduct. I observe the precept to abstain from false speech. I observe the precept to abstain from consuming anything that causes intoxication and heedlessness. I undertake to observe these 5 precepts properly. Sadhu. Sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Brother Tay, for leading us on the Buddha Puja as well the observing the 5 precepts. So let us do some mindfulness practice before we start the Dhamma sharing. So just sit comfortably with your back upright. You can adjust yourself comfortably. We're going to do body scanning this evening so that we are more aware of our body sensation. So sit in a position that enables you to be both relaxed and alert at the same time. Now, let us breathe naturally and bring very gentle attention to the breath. You can either bring attention to the nostrils or the abdomen. Be aware of the in-breath and out-breath. Now bring your attention to the top of your head. Be aware of your head, your ears, your eyes, your nose, and your lips. Just be aware of your whole face and the whole head. Take notice on your jaw and your cheeks. Are they tense? Just relax. Now move your attention to your neck, the inside of your throat, and your shoulders for 1 minute. Be aware of your neck, your throat, and your shoulders. Relax. Move your attention to your lower back, mid back, and upper back for a while. The bag carries a lot of our load and stores a lot of our tension. So let us give our bag the kind and loving attention they deserve. Now move your attention to the chest and stomach for a while. Be aware of your chest moving up and down as you breathe in and breathe out. Your abdomen is moving in and out as you breathe. Just be aware. And now bring your attention to your entire body all at once. Imagine you are sitting like a full mountain, solid, stable, and quiet. Be aware of your body weight, sitting on the chair or a cushion. Bring awareness from the top of your head and slowly scan down to your face, your neck area, your arms and hands, your buttocks and legs, right down to your feet. Then move up your attention from the toes, slowly up your body to the head region. Now we shall conclude this body scanning exercise by breathing in 3 times. Then you can open your eyes. All right, welcome back, everyone. So today we are going to cover part 2 of the 4 Noble Truths. And I shall start with a brief recap of what Brother Casey has touched on in the first lesson. Yeah, so the first lesson we talk about the first noble truth, which is the noble truth of suffering, or the noble truth of unsatisfactoriness. Yeah, so basically these 4 noble truths talks about the true nature of life. Whatever we see, we touch, we experience in this world, it is actually the nature of 4 noble truths that is explained by the Buddha. So in the first noble truth, it is said that there are 8 kinds of suffering or unsatisfactoriness. So the first 3 kinds is very easy. We can experience it and see it as a human being. The birth of a baby is suffering, because the moment this baby is born, it's not just the discomfort that this baby is experiencing. It is also because when there is birth, there is definitely death. So this baby will eventually die one day. So that means it is this person will not live eternally or forever. Yeah, so that is why this is called unsatisfactoriness. So birth itself is suffering. Aging is suffering. For those who have aches and pains because of aging, you know, wear and tear of the body parts, injury, then we experience suffering because of aging. And of course, death is suffering. Yeah. Then the next one is sorrow, lamentation, pain, distress, and despair. This one can be actually summarized as sickness. Yeah, sickness of physical kind and also mental kind. So physical sickness refers to pain. Yeah, when we have headache, we suffer from fever or a certain kind of diseases, it makes the body feeling very unease. So that's why we call it pain. And the mental kind of suffering refers to sorrow, lamentation, distress, and despair. A lot of pressure, stress, worry and fear in the mind. So all these are categorized as mental illness or mental sickness. So number 4 is actually all sum up as sickness, yeah, physical and mental sickness. The 5th one and the 6th one, they are actually two pairs. Yeah, the first one is called association with the beloved. That means you associate with unbeloved. Sorry, this is wrong typing. It means something you don't like, but you have to associate with all the time. Yeah, let me just change it very fast. Hold on, yeah. Okay, so that means we associate with things that we don't like or people that we don't like. So when we associate with them, then our mind is not peaceful. Yeah, there is a lot of unpleasant feeling arise when we associate with them. And then separated from loved ones. Of course, we feel homesick from our loved ones if we are away, and things that we like very much, when they get old, they are broken, then we can no longer use the things that we like, then these are called separated from loved ones. So we also suffer. 7 is called not getting what we want. We have a lot of wants, yeah, in our life. We want to be successful. We also want to be recognized. And we also want to achieve a sense of satisfaction in things that we do. Yeah, but every venture that we put our effort in, it does not mean automatically we will be successful. So sometimes we experience failure. Whatever things we want, sometimes we don't get it. So when we don't get it, the sense of loss, the sense of disappointment, the sense of grief, these are called suffering of the mind as well. So not getting what we want is also one of the suffering. So in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the Buddha actually conclude that, it is because we are clinging on to our body and mind. These 5 aggregates are actually the combination of our physical body and our mind, is because we cling to these 5 aggregates, and that is the cause of suffering. So you can see birth, aging, death, sorrow, association with the beloved, separated from loved ones, not getting what we want. All this actually is because we cling on to our five aggregates, and that's how suffering arises. Yeah. And last week we also talked about, why do we cling to the five aggregates? Because we want to think things to stay with us, things that are nice, people that we love, we want them to stay with us so that we can associate what's pleasant all the time. But this all the time is not possible. The true nature of life is such that nothing is forever. So things change. That is the first nature. Yeah, things change. Even people change. Even we change our mind. Like today, if we plan, we want to do something. For example, we plan to do meditation. But sometimes we change our mind because we feel too tired, want to do something else. Maybe I will do chanting instead. So that's why we change our mind a lot. Even what we want to eat also, sometimes we cannot make up our mind because we keep changing. Okay, now I want to eat nasi lemak. But when I see something else that looks nice, Hokkien mee, then suddenly I want to change my mind. I want to eat Hokkien mee. You see? So things change. Even our mind, our thoughts also change. But the thing is, we cling on things to be permanent. That is the problem. That's why suffering arises. And things are not perfect in the sense that whatever we possess now, which is good, yeah, we have a lot of wealth or possession which can keep us happy, but these things, they will be broken, they will not exist after some time. The car can get old, can break down, and can be irreparable one day. So because of that, you can see things that are nice, things that are good for us, however, they cannot maintain as good, as perfect, as new, as useful forever. That is why it is called imperfection. Yeah. And the third one is because this is the very important point of non-self. These things, they keep changing. Yeah, things will not stay as good as new all the time. That's why it's imperfect. Now, why does it not stay as good as new forever? It's because this thing does not have a permanent entity inside, including human beings, including sentient beings. So it's because we are the components of little molecules and cells. They combine together. And then when they combine, there is also such a time when they will also disperse. When they disperse, they don't remain the same anymore. So that's why we experience, birth, aging, sickness, and death. Yeah, because of that, there is no soul which is permanent in us. That is why it is called non-self. When it is non-self, then there is nothing there we can control ourselves. Yeah, but every day we keep wanting to control ourselves, and that's where the suffering arises in our mind. So last lesson, Brother Casey talked about these two main things. Yeah. So today I'm going to continue with lesson 2, which is the cause of suffering. And the cause of suffering, according to Buddha, is called craving or tanha. Craving is described by the Buddha as being very thirsty. When you are very thirsty, what do you want to do? You want to drink, right? So that feeling of thirst, then because of extreme thirst, you have this very, very strong urge and craving for water, for drinking. And that is how this craving in the mind is described as thirst. Okay. Now, what are our basic thirst. Yeah, our basic thirsts are, we want food, sex, friendship, beauty, recognition, and many more. These are our basic needs and wants in our daily life. These things are also inbuilt in our mind, the thirst for these things, the desire for this. Yeah. And this kind of thirst is always not satisfied. Even if it's satisfied, it is for a short while. Like we have a good meal this morning, which is delicious, which is very full. But after 5-6 hours, we get hungry again. So you see, then there is the desire to eat again because of hunger. Same thing as like we listen to good music. So after listening to songs and music, we feel very nice and happy. Yeah. But when we stop listening to music, after some time, we may feel bored again. So we want to seek for good music again to satisfy our mind, to calm ourselves with good music. So that's why we constantly want to enjoy good music, good food, and also watch movies, enjoy the everyday kind of sense pleasures. Now, this clinging to desire is the cause of suffering. So the desire to eat is not the problem, because we are hungry, we have the desire to eat. That is no problem, because this is our physical need. When we feel hungry, we want to eat. But the problem is we cling to the desire to eat. So we are not satisfied just to have a simple meal, but we want to have a meal which is very delicious and very yummy, that can make our taste bud enjoy sweet, sour, spiciness, salty, and even some of us also enjoy bitter food like bitter gourd. Yeah, so it's clinging to the desire that is the cause of suffering. It's not the desire to eat out of hunger. Yeah, so that's the difference. Now, craving is sometimes described as when we already have something, but when we see somebody else have something better, we also want something from them. Yeah, like you have already fish in your bucket, but when you see someone has a bigger fish, you keep looking at other people's fish. Yeah, so the sense of unsatisfactoriness arise in the mind because, oh, I have small fish, this guy has a big fish, so I'm not satisfied with my small fish. I wish I had the big fish. So that's where suffering arises in the mind. And what kind of craving? Basically, there are 3 types of craving. We can categorize into 3 types of craving. And the most common one which we experience in our daily life is craving for enjoyment. Enjoyment that can satisfy our sense desire. Yeah, for example, good food. Yeah, delicious food. We constantly want to enjoy good food. So that's why every day when we prepare our meal, it's not just to cook something that is edible and just eat. We also take great pains in studying and learning how to cook better and more delicious food. We put in more spices to make it so that our taste bud can enjoy different kind of taste. So this craving for the taste bud for this food is not just to keep ourselves full and so that we can survive, but in our daily life we constantly crave for good food. Yeah, enjoy the taste. So our tongue, our taste enjoy something that is delicious and yummy. Okay? Not just taste, also hearing good music. And nowadays, you go to concert, it's not just listening to music only. You also watch performance. So the stage and then the dancers, sometimes they even have magic shows. And then the decoration is so beautiful. Sometimes they have fireworks and they have so many performance and also innovation that satisfy the eyes and the ears together. Yeah. And sometimes they even put good smell, perfume, so that you can experience full sense pleasures in this just a concert. And we also want to taste nice. That's why the body shampoo, the hair shampoo we buy also have perfume built in, yeah, added into the things that we use. The food that we buy also have a nice smell. Sometimes we add vanilla, we add parsley, we add some condiments to make it taste nice. It's just like you cook this red bean soup. Okay, the main ingredient of red bean soup is red bean plus sugar and water. But we like to put pandan leaf because pandan leaf, they emit a sweet smelling odor. So that's why we don't just want to eat yummy food that is sweet because of the sugar. We also want to feel the smell, the good smell sensation. Yeah. And also our touch. We enjoy, in a carpet, in a smooth surface, in a soft clothing, to buy soft clothing. It's because of our skin. We would like to touch something that is pleasant. So these are the sense pleasures that we are pursuing in our daily life. So you can see that, yeah, which we are more or less attached to this kind of sense pleasures every day. So compared to sitting on a cold cement floor and sitting on a comfortable chair, of course, we prefer to sit on a comfortable chair, right? Instead of sitting on a cement floor. Yeah, it's because we actually crave for sense pleasures. Now, the second kind of craving is called craving for existence and becoming. We crave to exist. We crave to live again. We crave, that's why our birthdays are occasions that we celebrate, because everyone craves for birth. Everyone craves for becoming and exist. So if you come to a party, nobody take notice on you, everybody ignores you as if you don't exist. Do you enjoy that party or not? You don't enjoy, right? It's because you feel as if you don't exist. Nobody take notice on you. But in our heart, in our mind, deep in our heart, we crave for existence. So when everybody ignore us, we don't feel we exist, then we don't feel happy. This is the mentality. Yeah. Okay. So look at this picture. Even animals want to live. Yeah. So when they are being pursued by a predator, so this impala will run for its life because I want to live. I don't want to die. Okay. Another one. How do you feel if you were the one who stand on this rock? How do you feel? Can you type on the chat? If you were to stand on this rock, how would you feel? Do you feel happy? Wouldn't you say very scary, right? Very high. At least you say, I'll be shivering. I agree with you. The legs will be shivering, right? Terrified. Yes, anxious. Correct. Why? Why do you feel terrified and anxious? Because you're afraid of falling down, right? If we fall down, then we would die. So that's why the craving for becoming is so strong here, because we don't want to die. Yeah, we want to exist. So you can see the instinct is there. You know, the craving is so deep inside us. The instinct of becoming is so strong. Okay, next one. Let's see the next photo. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. How do you feel? Do you like it? How do you feel? Anyone want to share? Danger. Glee. Okay. Eerie. Yeah. Afraid of being beaten. Afraid of smelly and dirty slime. So you don't like, right? Because you're afraid. You feel that this snack is a danger. Yeah. So you can see, because of our self-preservation, we want to continue to live. That's why we are very afraid of, animals that may be poisonous, animals that can be aggressive, that may harm us. So that's why we are very afraid, even though this is only a photo. Are you in danger of being bitten by this snake? Not at all, right? But still, the emotion of afraid, of terrified still arise. It's because of our deep craving for becoming. So that's our craving for becoming arise. Okay. So, human beings crave for eternal life, as you can see from this, the Giza. This is in Giza, Egypt, where we have the pyramid. 4,000, 5,000 years ago. So the human civilization already, they already look at eternal life. They want to live forever and ever. That's why the kings of that time, the pharaohs, they actually worship the sun, and they also built this pyramid. So that when they die, they are buried here in the pyramid in the hope that their soul will be preserved, that they can live forever. Not just in Egypt, in China also. Where is this? Anybody have visited this place? Xi'an, China. You also have this, the king was buried when they died. The king was buried together with, these stone shoulders, soldiers, stone maids, employees, slaves, and workers, so that, in the hope that when they die, they will be reborn in some way, and they will continue to be served by the servants and the people. Yeah, so the terracotta, that's correct. Yeah, and Bunyu, you have been there, so you know the history. The urge for becoming is so strong since the ancient time, is not just now. And the third kind of craving is craving for non-existence, which is direct opposite of craving for existence or craving for becoming. And this craving for non-existence is usually when we encounter an extreme kind of unhappiness, extreme kind of trauma, that we want to give up our life. We feel so disappointed and despair that we want to give up our life. So that's why committing suicide, running away from problem, these are ways of craving for non-existence. Okay. Now, what other ways in a small way can we experience of non-existence? For example, there is always this saying, you know, children, they walk to school. These are in the ancient time, before kids go to school, being fetched by their parents using car. So in those days, kids walk to the school, but run when the school bell rings after school. Children will run away. Okay, this is craving for non-existence in a sense of they crave to be free from the school, which is having a lot of rules, a lot of restriction, which they have to sit down in the classroom and learn and do homework and do exercises. So this kind of effort to them is a kind of unpleasant as compared to they can play outside in the playground, you know, in a field which they can run freely, they can play games with their friends, which is happiness to them when they are able to play freely. So the school here refers to something that is unpleasant as compared to the play environment. So the crave for non-existence can be seen from the way they approach going to the school and they leave the school. They leave running the school from away from the school. Yeah. So this is what the Buddha said in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the first discourse of the Buddha. Yeah, and this monks is the noble truth of the origination of stress. Stress here refers to suffering. Yeah, the craving that makes for further becoming, accompanied by passion and delight, relishing now here and now there. That means now here, now there means our mind is flickering. Yeah, constantly chasing here, chasing there, and enjoying this becoming, yeah, more and more. Yeah. So what are the craving? Is craving for sensual pleasures, craving for becoming, and craving for non-becoming. Okay. All right. So this craving arises because of three mental qualities which are unwholesome. So how does this craving arise? It's because of these three unwholesome mental states, which we call three evil roots. So the first one is called greed. Greed for physical possession. Yeah, like money, physical things, possessions. When we open our wardrobe, we have more than enough clothes to wear. And we have more than one or two pair of shoes because we want more and more. So we have this greed, yeah. And I think last few days I share a video link with y'all. Have you watched the video link? This is the video shown for in Black Friday. Usually it's an annual event in the US, where the day after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a time where family members and friends, they will exchange gifts, they will buy gifts for each other. So when they receive gifts, some of them they don't like, so they will go and exchange. And after this buying season of Thanksgiving, so the day after Thanksgiving is called Black Friday, is because the shops and retails, they give huge discount to encourage people to spend more money. That's why when huge discount is given, so most people want to take this advantage and buy a lot. Imagine something can be discount up to 70%. You only pay for 30% or even only 20% of the original cost. So when you feel that you have so much advantage, so some people have this greed arise and they want to buy more and more. Yeah, that's how it can be. You know, a person can have so many handbags. Yeah, And when you go to the buffet, you can see, you know, some people just take more than they can eat. That is greed arise. Okay. And we also crave for sleep. Sometimes, how much sleep do we need actually one day? But on weekends, sometimes we can sleep longer, more than we need. Yeah, so because greed for comfort, we don't want to get out from the bed. Greed for comfort is also a way of greed. Okay. And this greed can be also greed for power. It's not just physical possession. All right. It can be greed for fame, greed for beauty. Okay. So there are many kinds of greed. Yeah, some people will experience a different kind of greed at different times of their life. Yeah, for example, I give you an example. So Ali grew up in a family which is very poor. So when he's young, he cannot afford to have new clothes to wear. His parents cannot afford to buy him new clothes. So Ali can only wear clothes that are hand-me-downs from his cousins who are more wealthy and more well-to-do. So as Ali grew up, he actually desired to have new clothes that will make him very happy. Okay, so as he grew up and then he started working and earn money, then he has enough money that he can afford to buy new clothes. So when he has more than enough new clothes, then new clothes is not in his mind that much anymore. Then he craves for something else. He craves for recognition from his job, so that, you know, his effort, his knowledge, his skill is appreciated by his company. So he wants to be recognized in his work. That will bring him happiness. So you see, the desire of a person can change at different stage of his life. So, but as long as we keep pursuing, you know, good food, beauty, power, recognition, these things are transient. That means they are not permanent. And that is the problem. So we will continue to pursue again and again. And this is our greed if we want more and more. Okay. And Mahatma Gandhi says it very well. He said, Earth provides enough to satisfy everyone's need, but not everyone's greed, not every man's greed. Yeah, that's why in this life, in this world that we live, we have 8 billion population. There are many people who actually work from foot to mouth. Yeah, that they cannot stop working. If they stop working, then they don't have money to survive. Okay, but there are some people who are very, very rich, that they can spend the whole lifetime without working. They still have a lot of money to spend. Yeah, and these are the people who actually generate a lot of resource, the waste, and take a lot of resources. Yeah, so some people, they have so much that they don't mind to throw away things easily. You know, things they don't like a little bit, they cannot finish their food, they just throw away. So that's why there's a lot of food waste when you go to the landfill. It's because people just want to have sense pleasures, and then to satisfy the greed, but they cannot finish what they want, so they just throw away. So that's how it is, you know, greed actually affect our habit as well. I remember in our younger days, whatever things that are broken at home, we would repair. Yeah, radio is broken, we will send to the mechanic to repair. TV is repaired. So things are used for a very long time. They can be used, put to good use for a long time. But nowadays, the lifestyle is such that TV can only last for maybe 5 years. The lifespan is shortened because they encourage you to change new one. When you change new one, it's a new technology, you get a better version. So because of this mentality, we tend to throw away and want to have new things. Instead of, there is a small defect or small things that is broken, we can actually just repair and then use it again. But the thing is, the greed of we want more and more something better, so we just replace it without repairing. That's why we generate a lot of waste in our lifestyle. Okay, the second evil root is called hatred or aversion, things that you want to push away, you don't like. Yeah, anger is one of it. When people don't agree with you, so you tend to get very annoyed, frustrated, so anger arises in the mind. Yeah, so that's why we get arguments when we don't see eye to eye with each other, so we argue. And then when we feel not respected by others, anger also arises. And if we lose something that we like or people we love, we get angry as well. Yeah. And other kinds of hatred in this same category is called ill will, or we call malice. That means in the mind, you do not wish other people better than you. Okay, so this malice mentality is such that the mind is always very spiteful. I wish you failure. I wish you not successful. I wish you not happy. These kind of wishes. So because the mind is not happy, so when we think of other people, we also think with unhappy mindset. So that's why this mentality of ill will, spite and grudge, it appears in our mind. When we see someone very fierce standing in front of us, then this ill will arise to say, this person is very aggressive, I don't like him, this kind of mentality. Okay, so when we have this desire to see another person experience pain, injury, or distress, then this is called ill will. Yeah, it may not be hate, but it is a milder version of hate. So it is ill will. Yeah? And what else? Another kind of mindset is when you see someone better, you don't feel happy. So this is called jealousy or envy. So jealousy arises when we have this inferior complexion, when we are not as good as other people, we cannot feel happy for them. So then this is jealousy. And sometimes we feel threatened because of our position, our recognition. It's threatened when someone is better than us. They are recognized more than us, so we feel threatened. Yeah. Another kind of feeling of hatred is called disgust. Yeah, I don't like it. Feeling very disgust. Yeah, with things that are unpleasant to see. Yeah. For example, when you see a dirty place, then you say it's disgusting. Yeah, it's not neat at all. Compared to a house which is very neat and clean, you enjoy looking at a house that is neat and clean. You feel disgusted when you see the places with rubbish thrown all over. And smell also, when you smell rubbish smell, you don't like it, right? So you feel disgusted. Sound, when very high pitch sound, you also don't like. Okay, and taste, something which is yucky, you don't like the taste of some bitter pill some medicine which is very, very bitter, then this is not pleasing to the mouth. Yeah, and touch also. If the cloth that you wear is very coarse, it has a lot of pins and needles, then you also don't like to wear this kind of clothes, right? So it's not pleasant to the touch. So you feel disgusted. Yeah, so you tend to push away this unpleasant experience, sight, smell, sound, taste, and touch. You want to push away, you don't like. So this is called aversion or hatred. And the third kind of roots is called ignorance or delusion. Yeah, we are ignorant of three things. That is in the lesson 1, that things change all the time. It is impermanent. And we are very unsatisfied of the happiness that we gain from something that we enjoy, because this enjoyment, they don't last forever. Just like you eat a cone of ice cream, it tastes so good. So this is happiness, right? So this is happiness. You really experience happiness when you eat this ice cream, which tastes so good. But the problem is you, after finish that cone, there's no more. So it's unsatisfactoriness. There is no more happiness from the good taste. So the happiness is gone when you finish the ice cream. So that's why this kind of happiness is impermanent. That's why it's not perfect. It won't last long. And non-self, we, our own body, we can't control. We can't control our body not to fall sick. We cannot control our mind not to think, not to worry, not to feel stress, not to get angry so easily, because we cannot control. This body, this human being is consists of the 5 aggregates. They come and compose, become a human being, and they change, constantly change, impermanent. That's why we cannot control. So there is no entity which stays forever the same. So there is no soul. That's why it's called non-self. So if we don't understand these 3 characteristics of life, then we actually think that the world is permanent. The happiness that we pursue from sensual pleasures is permanent. But when we pursue, then it keeps changing. That's why our happiness from these sense pleasures, they are not lasting. That's why it's called they are not perfect. And we cannot control of the change. That's why it's not self. So if we don't understand these 3 characteristics of life, and we cling on to the sense pleasures, that's where suffering arises. So the Dalai Lama said, ignorance is the root cause of suffering. Refers to fundamental misconception on the true nature of self and all phenomena. Now, ignorance is just like this monkey, out of greed for the sweet that is put inside this coconut shell, because of greed, so he's clinging and grasping on the sweets. Because of the grasping, then the hole is so small that it is actually caused the hand to be stuck inside this coconut shell. So if there is no clinging from this monkey, the hand let go, then you can go out, can be free from the trap. Okay, so that's why ignorance is because of ignorance. You don't understand that this greed can cause the hand to be stuck in this situation. So because of this, then we cling on to the sweets. Yeah, we don't want to let go. So that's why we are caught in this suffering. So this monkey will be caught by the farmer, and chained. Okay. So this is just an illustration which I experience. I go for my evening walks. So normally when I pass by some neighborhood houses, some dogs will come to the gate and bark at me very fiercely, just like this dog. Okay, then on certain occasion, the house owner was around, and then the house owner just opened the gate. Yeah, so this dog come out to the street, to the neighborhood road. Yeah. Surprisingly, when the same dog see me on the neighborhood road, the dog did not bark at me. Why? Can you tell me? Because the dog has clinging. Clinging of what? Clinging when the dog is in the house, the dog thinks the house, the space belong to me. Me, mine, my house. You cannot come to my house. So the dog barks and barks and barks at me. But when the dog is in the neighborhood road, which does not belong to anyone and is not his house, is not his home, the road is not his home, he didn't have this attachment, strong attachment of saying, this is my space, you cannot come. So you can see, yeah. So the same dog have two different reactions at two different scenarios. So that's why when we see that our things are broken, we get agitated. But when the same thing belongs to someone else, gets broken, do you feel heartache or not? For example, my handphone, if I break my handphone, sing tong, heartache, because I need to buy a new one. I have to spend money and I have good things that I can use. But if CJ's handphone is broken, do I feel heartache? I don't, right? It's because I don't have the attachment to that handphone, but I have attachment to my handphone. That's why I suffer when it is broken. So that's why same thing which is broken, why do we feel suffering? It's because we are attached to that thing, only then we feel suffering. It's just like every day, a lot of people die. We don't feel sad, right? We don't grieve for so many people dying one day. But if our family member, our loved one dies, we feel sad. We suffer. It's because our strong attachment to our loved one. That's why we suffer. Okay, so that's the reason. Yeah? So here it's a flow chart that can explain out of ignorance. We don't know what true happiness is. So we keep searching for what that makes us happy. So what do we search? We search for objects and ideas. And then we become attached to these objects and ideas to make us happy. But when these objects and ideas don't meet our expectation, then we get angry and we suffer. So we are angry. When we are angry, we are aggressive to others. Then we do not understand the true nature of suffering. This anger, we start scolding people. We start, destroying things. We are angry. Then we are further deluded by the true nature of things. We don't see the true nature of things, which is impermanent, imperfection, and non-self. So this cycle continues. Ignorance, craving, anger, ignorance, craving, anger. So it is a cycle, yeah, in our daily life. If we don't have the wisdom to understand the true nature of life, it's impermanent, it's imperfection, and it's non-self. Okay. So that's why the Buddha say, just as a tree, though cut down, can grow again and again if its roots are undamaged and strong. In the same way, if the roots of craving are not wholly uprooted, sorrows will come again and again. So that's why it's important to uproot the 3 evil roots. Yeah, it's not impermanence that makes us suffer. What makes us suffer is wanting things to be permanent when they are not. So this is a very important message. Okay. All right, just to summarize today's lesson, basically there are only 2 things that I want to share. That the cause of suffering is clinging or attachment. Attached to what? Attached to sensual pleasures. Okay, and we also attach to, we want to become, continue to survive, continue to exist. And we are also attached to unbecoming. We don't want, we push away things that we don't like. We don't want to continue to live in an unpleasant situation. That's why we tend to push away our fear and worry. You know, some people push away their fear and worry by, drinking alcohols, taking drugs, so that they can forget. That is unbecoming. Okay, so the cause of suffering is clinging or craving or attachment. Attached for sensual pleasure, becoming and unbecoming. And then the root cause of clinging are the 3 evil roots. So the first one is greed. Yeah, the mental factor of greed. That is the first evil root. The second one is hatred or anger. Things we don't like, we push it away. Frustration, aversion. Okay. And the third one is delusion, because we don't understand. Things will change. Things are not permanent. Because we don't understand that things are imperfect. So we continue to cling on to the enjoyment, to the happiness. Yet this happiness do not last. Yeah. And we also don't understand about non-self. So we have this constant struggle to have control in our life. But in actual fact, there are a lot of times we cannot control our life. Yeah. So today's lesson is about these 2 things. So I'd like to end the session with this cartoon. So the young monk asked the master, is it proper for a monk to use email? Sure, as long as there is no attachment. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Sufian. Right. Any questions? Anyone? Let me see. Chat box, there's no question. Anyone got anything to ask? Don't feel shy.
Yeah.
This is the
Or
time
you can
for us to
share,
clarify.
share whatever scenario you have in mind. Most of the time, we are not aware of our own greed and cravings only when it's too late. It's true, right? And in fact, I have a good friend, who once commented. He also know a little bit about Four Noble Truth. Now, when we talk about sensual pleasures and the danger of sensual pleasures bring, what kind of danger? The danger of when you keep pursuing these sensual pleasures, you eat too much good food, what will happen? Can the good doctor advise? If you eat fried chicken every day and for many years and no vegetables, so what will happen?
Definitely it's not a good thing to follow lah, basically, isn't it? Yeah. Because of course the fried chicken itself, everything contains high cholesterol, high fat lah, basically. So of course not detrimental to the health. That's one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number two, basically you're taking too much of this, fried stuff and things like that. So it's actually have a lot of these radicals. Yeah.
Free
So these radicals, yeah, I mean, all these radicals is very, in long term is not so good for the body, because your body actually needs to get rid of these radicals. Because these radicals, they are actually factors that may actually promote cancer formation. Yeah. So unfortunately, especially you're talking about, colon cancer, it's that. So yeah. So of course, definitely not on long term.
Yes. So the good doctor's advice, don't indulge too much in
Too much,
sense
yes.
pleasures,
Yeah.
because it will bring sickness. It will bring body discomfort. So you can see suffering follows when we indulge on these sense pleasures. So that is very direct, right? So these things are, I think, there is one man, I think in the US, he tried a diet of just McDonald's for 30 days. And he did a body check, before he started this diet. It's called an experiment, 30 days experiment, just survive on McDonald's. And then after 30 days, his health result, blood test result showed that all the liver is deteriorating, the stomach, all those, the body organs are affected because of this high fat diet. So you can see it is actually bringing suffering, sickness to the body because of sense pleasures. Yeah.
And sometimes we are not actually aware of what we do, because most of the time you're thinking that, okay, as long as I don't do harm to other people, so you'll be okay. Yeah. But at the same time, you do not really know that sometimes the greed is there. You try to take more than supposed to be taken. Although you feel that, okay, it's no, don't waste food, things like that. Yeah. But it's something that, and we need to ponder, whether we need that much. So that brings to us that, we need to think whether we need to differentiate what we need and what we want.
Yeah.
I think it's something that it's very important for us to ponder on that, because what we need, yes, we need to actually get that, because it's essential for our life. Yeah. But what we want is something that, second thoughts.
It is unending, right?
Yeah. Or else it will be like, unsatisfied, on craving, chasing, and this is what, I mean, maybe that is one of the delusions like ignorance now.
Yeah. So talking about this, the root cause of suffering in our life is because of our craving. It's good for us to contemplate on our life, is there something that we can let go so that we have less suffering? So this is something that we can think and come back in the next session when we talk about the end of suffering is possible. Yeah. I see from Alice, you say you try to abstain from food after noontime, but the craving comes. Yeah, after noon, if you are physically active, you still need to go on your daily life. Of course, you need energy. So probably you are not used to not having food or fasting. So maybe you need that energy. That's why you need to eat. Okay. So but the thing, eating is not the problem. Is eating what is the problem? You just want food to sustain energy, or you must have something that is yummy. If not yummy, I cannot accept. That is causing the mind to be unhappy. Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
unfortunately, all the nice food are not so healthy. Unfortunately.
Yeah, actually, nowadays I try to be mindful. Whatever food I eat, I check my mind. Am I complaining or not? So do you all notice yourself when you eat? Do you complain? This one not nice one. This nasi lemak from this seller not nice. Next time I don't want to buy from him. I will buy from another person. So when we have a lot of this criticizing, a lot of complaints. You watch the mind is in a very unhappy state. This unhappy state is suffering. But then when you look back, does this nasi lemak give you energy, sustain you or not? Yes, right? So it satisfies our need, but it does not satisfy our wants.
Yeah.
Because we put too much emphasis on good taste, enjoying the food. We actually put so much emphasis on enjoying that we forget this enjoying brings suffering. It's not wrong to eat good food. It's not wrong to eat yummy food. The problem is the clinging. Because once we eat something that is not yummy, then we start complaining, then suffering arises. Anyone wants to unmute yourself, please share.
Yeah, exactly. Don't have to type. You can
I
actually
love to
speak.
hear.
And show a video and speak up. No questions.
I just share an experience. Many years ago, I went to the US to visit my brother. My brother is staying in US. So when I went to his house, he stayed alone in a 3-room apartment. But his rooms are all filled with stuff. Because he's a shopaholic. So I asked him, why do you need 2 TV, 4 CD players, and a cupboard full of dry food, which some are already expired? He said, because it's so cheap, I cannot control myself, so I buy, he said. And I keep buying. And sometimes, because of the great discount, he feels that it's a crime not to buy because it's too cheap. Yeah, that's not real happiness. Yes,
Hello.
sister?
Yeah, can I share something here?
Sure.
Today I was just having a discussion of Dharma talk with my friend, and we were talking about, she was telling me about the daughter. The daughter get the craving and then get hooked on going on Shopee. So the craving is buying and ordering, you see. She get crave for buying things, and then the thing what she said is, oh, it's so cheap, so she kept telling the children. And I told the young children, look, tell your mother, stop craving for all these things of cheap, because let's say you order something but you cannot wear or you cannot use, but
The line broken.
Oh, her line is stuck.
Yeah.
I want to
at
listen
the end of
more.
the day, right?
We can't
So-
hear
so-
you for a while. Sorry. Can you repeat? You told the children about what? Sorry. Maybe you. Oops. Cannot hear.
Yeah, it's got hungry.
Yeah. Hey. Meanwhile, anyone else would like to say something?
Her children say, no, you can't hear me, is it?
Yeah, maybe you switch off your video so that you can save on the bandwidth and talk without your video.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, your mom to stop
Yeah. Okay.
buying.
Continue.
Yeah.
shopping or what, right? Because the first piece you buy, you cannot wear. Because you keep on buying cheap, and then your clinging is I buy because it's cheap. But on the overall, it's not cheap because you can't see the thing. And then when you buy, you cannot wear, you just throw it away. You know, so and then when you buy the second piece, you never thought that when you count the pro rata, it's not cheap because you threw away the first piece.
Yeah. So you buy 10 pieces, you end up can only wear 2 pieces.
Exactly. Yeah. So the suffering will come because you spend the money, so much money on it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's not
true.
huh?
That's a good sharing on, you know, our everyday greed. Thanks for your sharing, sister. What's your name?
Chu?
Sorry?
Sister Kim Chu?
Kim Chu. Okay. Thank you so much for your sharing. Yeah, who else would like to share our everyday greed or anger or delusion?
Yeah. Sis Suchen, I like to ask, we go to cinema to watch movie, and then we like to watch movie, we like to listen to, no, we like to watch drama, Korean drama and all this. Is it also like addiction and craving for entertainment, sensual pleasure and delusion as well? Because all these are fiction.
Yes. Yeah. What you say is correct because we constantly chase for sensual pleasures, including watching movie. Do you notice that when you watch the movie, when the plot comes with revenge, with quarrels, how does your mind react? You will also follow the plot, right? You also get angry. You also get hateful of the person, you know, that caused a lot of hurt. You also get sad when there is this love loss, you know. So you see your emotion go also up and down, following the plots, the story. But yet you enjoy, you see. So you can see our emotions, we follow what we experience outside. And these emotions bring a lot of mental defilements up, anger, hatred, you know, criticism, prejudice also. So this bring unwholesome mind up from we watch movie and things like that. So this unwholesome emotion, when you bring up more, is like accumulating habit. When we accumulate from watching movie, slowly it will become your character, your personality, your habit. Then you can get angry very easily because it is in your mind, exercise in your mind.
But moderate watching it is okay lah. Just like not too much, not addicted to it. Not like, oh, if I don't watch this, I will like feel very bad like that. Is that correct?
Yes, because as lay person, we are householder, lay person, we cannot run away from enjoying sensual pleasures. The Buddha does not deny us enjoying sensual pleasures, but don't be overly indulged, don't be overly crave for it. So this is something that we need to have good judgment. That means you enjoy watching movie or watching drama. But if let's say you enjoy so much that you don't want to work, you don't want to do housework, you let the house go, let the house get dirty, you just watch your movie, your drama, then that causes suffering. That disrupt your life. That actually bring downfall to your life. But if you devote some time for your entertainment, but you do your work properly, you keep your life also useful in doing good things for your family, for the society, you work honestly, you earn a living, then that is no harm to others and no harm to you because you have a balance.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. At least say the major craving for mankind is smartphone. Is it smartphone is the culprit or our greed is the culprit? So that is something we can reflect on. Yeah. Okay, so I think we are close to the time. So very thank you everyone for your feedback. And also if you have any questions, you can bring it up in the WhatsApp group, or we can also discuss in the next lesson. All right, so we are going to do closing. Anyone would like to do the closing, read the closing gratitude?
I do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sinloy.
Okay, in gratitude, if you had experienced joy listening to the Dhamma, do consider honoring our teacher, the Buddha, by putting into practice his first teaching to the lay community. Be chaga, donate, help, give support of time and energy to a worthy charity or spiritual organization of your choice, at your convenience. Be joyous in the giving. We must never take for granted the blessings that we have enjoyed in this life. As our forerunners had done it right by us, we must continue the good work for those who come after. May the Dhamma last long. May we continue to enjoy supportive conditions for learning and practice, and may we never deviate from the true teaching as long as life lasts. By Sister Silver Bay. This one I don't know.
Okay, Sinloy, maybe you read the English one.
Okay. Sharing of merits. May all beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, rejoice in this merit. May they long protect the world and Buddha Sasana. Long protect the teaching of the Dhamma and long protect me and others. May all devas, all beings, and all spirits share and rejoice in the merits that we have acquired.
Okay, I shall chant the Pali one. Yeah? Akasata cha bhumata deva naga mahidika punyang tang anumoditva chirang rakantu sasanam chirang rakantu desanam chirang rakantu mangparang etta vatta cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva sabbe satta sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya.
Transference of merits to the departed. May my departed relatives share this merit. May they be happy.
Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo.
Aspiration. By the merits of this action, may we never follow the foolish, but instead associate with the wise until Nibbana is attained.
Imina punya kamena Mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yawa nibbana patiya.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Sinlai. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you, sister. Thank you.